He died in the midst of human greed. Seeing this scene, 2 guards could only run away and then close the gate, blocking everyone outside, buying time to seek reinforcements. At this time, in the Wulon base, Huang Shijie was sitting on a 400 square meter sofa, drinking Wulongya one glass after another, enjoying himself, but his suppressed mood could not be released. In fact, since the day Sheng Yuan was taken away by a mysterious person, he has been restless. So he had long asked the red-haired sister to prepare a backup plan, and spared no effort to pay a high price in advance to hire the muscle from the Imperial Guide. Even the red-haired sister feels that Huang Shijie is worrying unnecessarily, but it must be said that Huang Shijie's premonition is more accurate than my watch. And in the lounge at this moment, the two have just finished enjoying the second half provided by Huang Shijie. The tall and thin figure is the professional shadow blade man Little Knife brought by Huang Shijie. He relies on the reputation of his ancestors and practically monopolizes resources in the Imperial Guide. The disregard for others is his byword. The other 2 colleagues have long been displeased with him. While the other middle-aged man with sparse hair, Brother Quan, is the smiling tiger in the group guide. Just as the other 2 were about to kill Huang Shijie directly. And then, they left after receiving the reward. Brother Quan analyzed the pros and cons for them, eventually dispelling this terrible idea. But they didn't know that the terrifying person was now at the gates, contemplating how to enter, as they looked upon the closed doors. In the next moment, Yi Zhongming pulled out a 90-meter short knife, flames flickering on the blade, and with a swish, unleashed a flame blade towards the gates. With a bang, the burst of fire exploded, problem solved, and they entered directly. In such a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, people rely even on wheel draws to get a lucky break. People fighting for control of the wheel becomes the key to survival and strength. The resurrected Yi Zhongming is tough. He took his former comrade Sheng Yuan to seek revenge as soon as he returned. When the gates were blocked, he just hacked through them. The guards at that moment fought to the death, their eyes full of disdain and arrogance. Sheng Yuan grabbed the head of the Di Huang pill. It instantly leaped to a height of 90 meters. The guards who were just acting arrogantly were all spared. From the beginning to the end, only 5 minutes have passed. Several people swaggered in through the main gate like this. Mo was puzzled at how such a despicable base could survive until now. Yi Zhongming made a concise summary. Just like the most primitive tribe, the leader relies on the so-called protection that is in name only, while secretly plundering the resources of the residents. Di Huang Pil smoothly eliminated all the guards. Yi Zhongming arranged for Liang Chuyin and Melody Master to search for the whereabouts of Huang Shijie together with Di Huang Pil. The rest of the people stayed behind to deal with an organization called Imperial, whose members were similar to Yi Zhongming's group. The guide profession had many practitioners, powerful and mysterious. They were far more dangerous than zombies and exotic beasts. If you can successfully handle them today, it means you have truly adapted to the end of the world. Everyone started to move towards their tasks, looking at the location pointed out by Yi Zhongming, where several people were approaching them. The newcomers were the 4 top fighters invited by Huang Shijie. After seeing the newcomers clearly, they all seemed to be familiar from the previous life. The Shadow Blade Man profession had conflicts in a bar in the previous life. A slightly eccentric sibling pair, and the Smiling Tiger Aquan would later become a powerful member of the 8 Stars faction, known as one of the 5 top figures in Imperial. Everyone saw Yi Zhongming daring to challenge Little Knife with just a few people, and his arrogant attitude resurfaced. Mocking Flat Top Bro with sarcastic remarks, Flat Top Bro immediately raised his 80-centimeter short knife in response. Yi Zhongming was slightly taken aback to see Flat Top Bro holding a white-grade weapon, Little Knife. At this time, the perverted siblings in the back suddenly became very interested. Xiao Lei and Mo also walked out with 80-meter short knives in their hands. The people in front of them could easily take out 3 white weapons. Even the calm Smiling Tiger trembled at this. He realized that he had underestimated the opponent's strength. But at this moment, Aquan suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. It was the strong killing intent emitted by Yi Zhongming. I advise you not to meddle in this. After swallowing a mouthful of saliva, Aquan dared not speak further. Then a 3-on-3 battle among peers began as scheduled. In the near future, people even need to rely on a wheel lottery to have a full Chinese feast in the near future. In the apocalypse where zombies rampage, competition for the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. Zhongming, who has been reborn, is like a walking queen of the apocalypse. A group of 6 people and a dog are going to challenge the entire base. First, it is a fair 3-on-3 showdown. Moye's team is facing off against the hired thugs from Imperial Guide. Once Moye makes his move, it shatters the opponent's moral beliefs. How is that possible? Even as a level 1 evolver, he exudes such a commanding presence. The wealthy second generation, Little Knife, who dominates Imperial, remains composed. He faces Xiao Lei, who ranks highest in both looks and strength, only to see him twirl the 70-meter-long dagger in his hand. Shadow Blademan's professional skills are well controlled, his body advances as fast as a snake, and his use of the knife is like lightning. The dagger in Little Knife's hand disappeared out of thin air. This makes Xiao Lei shudder. But with Zhongming, this overlord flower, the balance of power has long been tilted. After being reminded, Xiao Lei, who was quick to react, inserted the knife into the void where Little Knife disappeared. Little Knife, who was killed with a single blow at this moment, had a face full of horror. The usually arrogant self was actually taken care of in just one glance. Seeing Little Knife being taken out instantly sent chills down the spines of the 2 abnormal siblings. But how could Moye give them a chance to catch their breath? Brother Quan on the sidelines immediately reminded them. Are you waiting for the Ghost Festival? Under the guidance of Brother Quan, the 2 abnormal siblings once again showed a contemptuous smile. Soon, a white smoke rose, and the 2 disappeared on the spot. However, they couldn't escape from the reborn sheets that returned. They were exposed by Zhongming with just a few words. My sister's profession is mist walker. She is good at creating mist to disrupt sightlines. And the older brother is a void thief. Sure enough, a 70-meter Little Knife was suddenly pulled out when Flat Top Bro wasn't paying attention. Just as the big brother was indulging in his victory, thinking he had succeeded, Flat Top Bro's 80-meter short knife had already slashed through. Did he have no sense of crisis at all? Seeing his big brother being easily killed. Red-haired girl was also stunned in disbelief. But at this moment, Moye had been waiting for a long time. With a click, the 2 siblings successfully met in the underworld. Just such a simple meeting, leaving only the future strong brother Quan and Zhongming who gave him a chance to live, made even someone with a strong mindset like brother Quan break out in a cold sweat. Just need to say the current president's name of Imperial, Brother Quan decided to make a desperate attempt after a little thought. His hands were instantly wrapped in a layer of brass. Then, he directly punched towards Zhongming in front of him, but unfortunately, in front of the current Zhongming. This has no effect. Zhongming only used the strength of his hands. Accompanied by a wail. The future strong 8 stars fell here. And at this moment, Sheng Yuan had already dropped his jaw in shock, knowing the consequences of doing so were unimaginable. But Zhongming just smiled faintly and said, I have said that they are just a group of self-righteous idiots. In the near future, people will even have to rely on a wheel draw to drink a bottle of Leogamma. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, people compete for the wheel to become the key to survival and strength. The reborn Zhongming is like a walking strategy guide, taking a few people to overturn the entire base. In just a moment, he dealt with the future 8 stars experts, and also plundered many magic crystals and weapons. Liang Chuyin returned with joy. She has already found the most important target of this trip, Huang Shijie. Sheng Yuan, who is eager for revenge, can no longer contain the excitement in his heart. At this moment, Huang Shijie is waiting for the 4 reinforcements sent by the Imperial Guide, planning to exchange the white equipment obtained from level 2 wheel for protection. Little did he know that the four had already been easily taken care of by Zhongming. The red-haired girl is constantly repenting, realizing that if she had not killed Sheng Yuan's girlfriend, things would not have ended up like this. But in fact, it's not just because of this matter that the Imperial Guide will get into trouble. If this scepter can be inset with a gem, it is estimated to reach the purple level. One of his subordinates is thinking that they could both suffer losses, while he could reap the benefits. Suddenly, a nightmarish sound is heard outside the door. These people seem unable to exchange for peace. Soon after, the door is kicked open, and the person who enters is Zhongming and a few others. Before the crowd could snap out of their astonishment, Liang Chuyin directly struck with a raging madness. If it weren't for Huang Shijie timely using the elemental shield to block it, Zhongming looked at the elemental shield Huang Shijie used with a contemptuous and mocking tone. Elementalist is a very powerful class. Show us your elemental cone to impress everyone. The crowd is insulted to hear such remarks. The redhead girl next to me can't sit still anymore. Several black concealed weapons were suddenly thrown towards Zhongming and the others without warning. Teacher Piao promptly helped Xiao Lei unleash the wind shield to block it, while Zhongming went even further by directly taking down the black concealed weapons with his hands, leaving the red-haired girl astonished. You are actually a 2-stars evolver. And Huang Shijie doesn't waste words. A blue ice cone condensed from his hand, and then with a swoosh, it stabbed directly towards Zhongming, who casually threw back the concealed weapon he had just used. He just shattered the hard ice cone. At this moment, Sheng Yuan could no longer suppress the anger in his heart. He directly rushed towards Huang Shijie, flat-top bro, with a heart full of hot blood, intending to help him. But he was stopped by Zhongming. This is their private grudge. Let them settle it themselves. People even need to rely on the wheel lottery to have a cup of tea and smile. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, snatching the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. He helps his former comrade Sheng Yuan carry out a revenge plan from the previous life. The rest is left to Sheng Yuan, who single-handedly charges ahead like a reckless bull. He directly knocks down his former boss, Huang Shijie. Afterwards, he swung the 80-meter shield towards the redhead woman beside him. And the main culprit of everything is her. If she hadn't unjustly killed Sheng Yuan's girlfriend. But Huang Shijie is biased towards her. This completely makes Sheng Yuan feel cold. At this moment, Sheng Yuan focused all his anger into a fist and fiercely smashed it towards Huang Shijie's small face. Incompetent tears flowed directly from his mouth. He seized the opportunity to control Sheng Yuan and let his son take the chance to resolve him. But at this moment, Di Huangpil had already crawled forward from behind. When his son reacted, it was already too late. Finally, in just 30 seconds, seeing this scene, Huang Shijie was already heartbroken, but it was all too late. Sheng Yuan's killing intent was uncontrollable. Just in the blink of an eye, he dealt with Huang Shijie, and only the mastermind, the red-haired woman, was left. With a sharp and piercing scream, Sheng Yuan's revenge officially came to an end. Our protagonist, however, left with the white scepter holding Huang Shijie dear, named the Staff of Nature, although it looks like a rainbow umbrella of Daro. But it is indeed a piece of rare equipment. The hole on the hook handle is an inlaid socket, where natural gems can be set. The properties of the scepter will vary with the properties of the natural gems. Only natural gems related to wind, fire, water, and earth elements can be set, while gems of light element cannot be inlaid. Teacher Piao, as a bearer of light, will have his strength increased by at least twofold. But the true function of the Staff of Nature is not limited to this. People will use it as a weapon in team battles. Since elemental gems are consumables, the accompanying skill intensity can be adjusted independently. You can choose to cast multiple times or deplete all the energy contained in the gem at once, using it as a killer blow. In the previous life, the powerful Mu Xinfei from 9 stars relied on a golden tier scepter to dominate the world for many years. Although the scepter is now of white tier level, it can be regarded as a rare trump card at this stage. And at this moment, Sheng Yuan finally emerges from the blood pool. The next step is to control the base, with Liang Chuyin and Melody Master in charge of searching Huang Shijia's nest. Xiao Lei's trio established a hunting team to collect magic crystals, while Sheng Yuan and Teacher Piao are responsible for security and intelligence gathering in the city. It's the level 2 zombie mutation tide. In the not-too-distant future, people will need to rely on the wheel lottery even just to drink a bottle of Chubang soy sauce. In the post-apocalyptic world dominated by zombies, seizing the wheel becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code, and with 6 people and a dog, they successfully take over other people's base after some adjustments. Everyone harvested 20,000 level 1 magic crystals, close to 500 level 2 magic crystals, plus 100 bottles of level 1 evolution potion and 2 armored trucks. This undoubtedly elevates the strength of several individuals. Just when everyone thought Yi Zhongming was going to continue developing here, he said he was going to embark on a journey to another place because there is a place more suitable than here. Then 2 trucks raced off. Everyone returned to the base they rested at previously. Yi Zhongming stopped by on the way to check on the dying red corpse to see if it had recovered. As expected, there were no surprises. There were no signs of the wound healing at all. Teacher Piao looked sad, although Hongshi had no consciousness. But in the previous battle, she did sacrifice herself to save Yi Zhongming, who understood her intentions, and asked Teacher Piao to help her dig a grave to bury her, to express everyone's final intention. Teacher Piao, still reluctantly after the completion, after all, feels that her fate is not yet fulfilled. But alas, time waits for no one. Teacher Piao can only leave with tears in her eyes. And just after a few people left, a red vine suddenly arrived in front of the red corpse grave. With a narrowed face, it stared at the grave in front of it. Astonishingly, there was a magic crystal on the red vine. Then, with a loud bang, the red vine dived straight into the hole, as if it were constantly sucking something, making a crunching sound. But the next second, the red corpse suddenly broke through the soil. The red hair was now even brighter than before. She then grabbed the faint red vines, and immediately pulled it apart with her other hand. It turned out that the vines happened to insert into the wound of the red corpse, accidentally inserting into the previous soul orb, successfully recharging her. Looking at the red vines in front of her, the red corpse was slightly stunned. She seemed to have human emotions. And just at that moment, intermittent voices suddenly came from behind. The red corpse turned around and saw that it was actually a zombie with only half a face left, repeating the words it had just said as it walked over. Suddenly, the zombie's mouth exploded. Surprisingly, what came out from inside was a brain worm. Then, the brain worm unexpectedly jumped onto the face of the red corpse. Then, it kept shouting from its mouth, "Your body is mine, but handsome for only 3 seconds. Just at the second, brain worm immediately detects clues. Soul orb is constantly absorbing the power of brain worm. But it was already too late. Just then, the red corpse scratched it off his face. She held it in her hand and looked at it quietly. And at this moment, the brain worm had been begging for mercy incessantly. But it was of no avail. Only to see the red corpse open a small mouth the size of a sand pot. She was ready to taste the flavor of chicken like brain worm. But the next second, the crimson zombie found 2 strange scents nearby. In the mapping of the setting sun, it is the appearance of a woman and a cat. And those who have seen her before surely know that this person is the pretty speech witch. In the near future, people need to rely on a wheel to draw lots even for drinking a bottle of bean paste sauce. In a post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, people fight to seize the wheel to become the key to survival and power. Yi Zhongming, who came back to life, always seizes the initiative. He prioritizes creating a war machine called Iron Corpse. But she suffered serious injuries in a major battle, and was beyond saving. But she accidentally stumbled upon a new source of energy. There is even a trace of human wisdom in her eyes. Just as she was about to eat the brainworm. But an uninvited guest arrived, attempting to snatch the brainworm from her hand. That was the speech witch who had a grudge against Zhongming. Without much talk, she dove straight down, ready to unleash a series of attacks with the energy stored in the tacks. And the little black cat launched a sudden attack directly. It arrived in front of Iron Corpse in an instant, with the advantage of speed. But it was easily slapped by Iron Corpse, and flew 100 miles away. And the pushpin just now was like scratching an itch for her. But in the gap she was dealing with, speech witch switches from ranged attacks to melee attacks. It smashes its fist onto Iron Corpse's face. At the moment when brainworm falls out of her mouth, speech witch turns and pounces on the brain in the air. But Iron Corpse quickly recovers and launches a Cristiano Ronaldo-style header at speech witch. Both of them fall to the ground at the same time, neither gaining the upper hand. After a brief stalemate, they launch another attack against each other. But ordinary attacks seem to have no effect on either side. Everyone is determined and relentless. Brainworm keeps emitting a mournful howl in the hands of the two. The rivalry among women, just the momentum alone can make others awe-inspiring. And just at this moment, Brainworm can't bear the burden. In the end, it splits into two. This slightly eases the stalemate atmosphere. The two women looked at each other like this. The next second, they reached a tacit understanding and turned to leave, each going their own way. The confrontation between the two women ended like this. On the other side, Zhongming was looking at the map planning the route when a strange feeling arose. In just a moment, it seemed like he had re-established contact with the red-haired Iron Corpse. However, because it was too weak, Zhongming did not pay much attention to it for now. The current priority is to solve the issue of the forward route. Because ahead lies a barren land, everyone can only abandon the vehicles and continue on foot, crossing through this area. This place is full of extraterrestrial life forms. There are various powerful beings here. But at the same time, there are also various rare treasures. All known treasures can be found here. And if they take a detour, it will take more time, and they may encounter other dangers on the way. Therefore, for them, this journey is both hell and heaven. Most importantly, in Zhongming's memory. Not only is there a precious gem mountain there, but there is also a gem vein. People even have to rely on the wheel to draw lots for a bottle of garlic chili sauce. People scramble to grab the wheel as it becomes the key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking map in the apocalypse. Both career evolution and war pet evolution require the use of them. However, the gains are linked to risks. In this wilderness, there are many powerful unknown creatures. They can evolve by absorbing energy from the gem veins. Zhongming, accompanied by a few people, cautiously moves forward. He points to the vein ahead with a smile and says, "This is the land you are going to conquer for me." Through the telescope, you can clearly see that there are natural gems everywhere. A strange phenomenon is discovered in the rear, traces of urine left by the exotic beast, indicating that an exotic beast has declared this area its territory. Zhongming's expression instantly becomes serious, which also proves its absolute strength in this area. With the current strength of the team, they may not be able to handle it. He must first lead the team through this wilderness, while he returns alone to investigate. He is well aware of the level of danger in this place. But with the Di Huang pill, Zhongming carried himself with calmness, and from his determined look, it was clear that his mind was made up. Mo Yi and the others need to understand the distribution of power in this area in advance. While Sheng Yuan and Teacher Piao are responsible for the safety of Melody Master. Do not go to Cloud Top Manor before he comes back. After he gave the order, he turned and left without looking back. Soon, the man and the dog arrived within the estate, and they had a surprise harvest right away, a highly nutritious mutated ginseng sweet potato. Its fruits are not only delicious, but also can enhance physical fitness. Once settled in Cloud Top Manor, they can start mass production. He is also a top performer among his peers, but seeking wealth and honor and danger is an eternal truth. For Yi Zhongming, it is even more so. How could he possibly give up? In the near future, people will need to rely on wheel lottery even to drink a bottle of Head and Shoulders. In a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, people compete for wheel to become the key to survival and power. The reborn Yi Zhongming is like a walking cheat code, using his memories to discover a gemstone vein. But at this moment, a level 4 demon frog is guarding the area. Yi Zhongming at this moment can only outsmart it. He uses the Di Huang pill to lure it away. After observing for 3 days, he found out that the Di Huang pill can only distract the frog for 1 minute, which is not enough time for him to collect the gemstones. In the end, he sets his sights on a sleeping little Charmander, which is the treasure that allows him to gain without effort. Just as the demon frog is about to turn back towards the city, a big Charizard blocks its path. It is the Charizard mother who came looking for her child. Seeing everything as expected, Yi Zhongming waited quietly on the side. The 2 level 4 exotic beasts immediately started fighting without saying a word. At this moment, Yi Zhongming immediately went to the mineral deposit and picked up a 90-meter-long knife. Immediately after, he analyzed the pattern of the gemstone. Then he raised his hand, and the knife fell with a click, cutting off a piece. But soon Demon Frog noticed the movement on Yi Zhongming's side. Then it plans to finish the fight quickly by using its deadly 3-spray saliva attack. Due to being restrained by the attribute, Charizard is beaten badly. At this moment, the Di Huang pill immediately contacts Yi Zhongming with a look of reluctance. Just because he guarded for 3 days to get 3 gems. But he still had to run first out of respect. But just as he was running away, Demon Frog suddenly appeared in front of him. The escape route immediately changed from a cute route to an aggressive route. And then a Lao Tan Bing Typhoon cocktail. Yi Zhongming frowned, well aware of the seriousness of this move. Immediately upon passing a tree, he promptly used the summoning scroll to summon a one-eyed treant from the ground. But in just 1 second, as the typhoon passed in an instant, it turned into an ice tree carving. And in the next moment, it rolled Yi Zhongming into the typhoon. He directly used Flame Blade, but it dissipated instantly upon contact. At this moment, Yi Zhongming is no match for it at all. At the critical moment, Yi Zhongming can only summon the Staff of Nature and embed the water element gem just collected into it. Then, he uses the staff skill, Aquarius Defense, to counteract the typhoon. However, against the level 4 exotic beast's ultimate move, it may not be enough. The grade of this gem is still lacking. Just a moment ago, the gem just cracked and broke. Yi Zhongming could only take another gem. This time, it is the ice skill Blooming Prosperity, only to see the frost scattered like petals in all directions. In the end, they managed to open a gap in the typhoon. Yi Zhongming and Di Huang Pill took the opportunity to run. They managed to escape before the 2 skills mutually destroyed each other. However, out of the 3 hard-earned gems, only 1 remained before they could even warm it up. Just as Yi Zhongming was feeling heartbroken, suddenly, 4 ice spikes flew towards him. And the one who came was not someone else. It's the same demon frog from just now. In the near future, people will have to rely on Will Lucky Draw even to drink a bottle of Super King dishwashing liquid. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies roam, people fight over wheel to become the key to survival and power. Yi Zhongming, who returned from rebirth, is like a moving cheat sheet. He prioritized finding a gemstone vein, but was attacked by a level 4 demon frog, a fight he is currently no match for. When faced with the demon frog's saliva attack, he was unable to block the attack even when using his strongest skill, Flame Blade. Just 1 encounter left him covered in injuries. But at the brink of death, a great fire dragon suddenly emerged. 2 level 4 exotic beasts started fighting without exchanging a single word. Sure enough, it was only with the protagonist's halo that Yi Zhongming was able to catch his breath. However, He has suffered such severe injuries that his body is now immobile. He can only rely on the Di Huang pill to go fetch reinforcements. And just after the Di Huang pill left bouncing away, several strangers appeared in front of Yi Zhongming. Among them, a girl took out a restorative potion that she had made herself. She intended to use it to save Yi Zhongming, but she was stopped by another man. And just at this moment, Yi Zhongming suddenly woke up and took a quick glance to roughly understand the structure of the team. Especially the girl who was holding a green bottle just now. This is exactly the professional emblem of an alchemist. Obviously, he is the core of this team. At this moment, Yi Zhongming can barely move with the physique of a 2-stars evolver. But he still needs 7 to 8 days to recover. And this team is here to find medicinal ingredients to make paralysis potions. It's a good choice to be able to join this team, which is used to deal with level 2 exotic beasts. Later, he said that he had a map of this place that could help them find what they needed. Sure enough, driven by self-interest, the group quickly formed a partnership. Seeing this alchemist named Little Gua taking care of himself like this, Yi Zhongming has already made up his mind to win her over. Yi Zhongming took the opportunity to take stock of the gains from this occasion, while everyone was asleep at night. This is an ice crystal gemstone that the demon frog threw over at that time. When he saw that it was an intermediate level ice element gemstone, Yi Zhongming instantly felt that being injured was also a blessing. If this gem is used to unleash the blooming of wealth and power, its power should be equivalent to the old altar typhoon of the demon frog, meaning he has added another strong card. On the second day, Yi Zhongming brought a few people to investigate. Relying on memories from a previous life, Yi Zhongming quickly found the materials they needed. He also found many herbs he needed. However, at this moment, the lookout was suddenly chased by 2 exotic beasts, specifically level 2 red-eyed deer carvings. Upon seeing the team of level 2 exotic beasts, the person abandoned Yi Zhongming and ran off, except for Little Gua, who was reluctant to leave. At this moment, Yi Zhongming remained indifferent. He summoned the Staff of Nature and the gemstones, followed by casting a spell that blossomed into prosperity. In the near future, people will rely on wheel draws even to drink a bottle of 6 God for water. In the post-apocalyptic world where zombies rampage, people fight over wheel to become the key to survival and power. The resurrected Yi Zhongming is like a walk-in plug-in. Level 2 exotic beast that everyone runs away when they see. He can easily deal with it even when seriously injured. And at this moment, the person who had just run away showed an unbelievable expression. Unexpectedly, Yi Zhongming had such luck. When they saw the 2 level 2 magic crystals in his hand, the greedy expression on the faces of the crowd was hard to conceal. They planned to use force to snatch the 2 magic crystals, but only Little Gua remained on his side. And at that moment, Yi Zhongming directly threw the 2 magic crystals on the ground. Then he revealed a mysterious smile. Then he summoned a bunch of magic crystals from the storage crystal, with most of them being level 2 magic crystals. Not only that, Yi Zhongming also took out an extremely rare level 3 magic crystal. This directly made the leading old man show a surprised expression. He knew well that he had kicked a marble steel plate, only to see Yi Zhongming summon the Staff of Nature. Suddenly swished. He then took care of the old man and another man. At this moment, the remaining people finally understood that the 2 exotic beasts just now were personally handled by Yi Zhongming. He then threw an alchemy formula to Little Gua to formally win her over. The remaining people immediately knelt down to beg Yi Zhongming for mercy. Instead of exterminating them, he happened to make them help with work. After a journey, the group encountered a troop of Cloud Hoof, with one alchemist joining their team. Coincidentally, she is able to make a medicine called Falling Crimson Sap. Prepare to use the group of Cloud Hoof Yi Zhongming below to harvest the Falling Crimson Sap and scatter it in the grass. Then let Little Gua's brother Tang Tian lead the Cloud Hoof over. Tang Tian is also a knowledgeable person, and did not refuse this dangerous task. Sure enough, his determination successfully passed Yi Zhongming's test, ultimately earning a bottle of level 1 evolution potion. After everything was arranged properly, Zhongming arrived at the grassy area sprinkled with fallen crimson sap. With the skills of the gardener, the grass grew up to the waist in just a moment. And at this moment, Tang Tian successfully led a group of Cloud Hoof here, and as they passed through the grass, they all stopped to graze. Little Guo looked surprised, curious about what fallen crimson sap really was. But after Zhongming explained in detail, Little Guo blushed shyly like a delicate rose. As expected, after Cloud Hoof indulged in grass covered in fallen crimson sap, its proud posture kept colliding with the female Cloud Hoof. Indeed, whether human or exotic beast, excessive indulgence is not advisable. After a round of revelry, this group of Cloud Hoof collectively perished due to lack of vitality. Upon resolving the issue, Zhongming had them drag the Cloud Hoof carcasses to the entrance of the valley. Then, he lay in ambush with several people in the bushes. A whistling sound came from the sky, a level 4 enigmatic rock attracted by the smell of blood. In the near future, people will rely on Wheel to even drink a bottle of Blue Moon laundry detergent through lucky draws. In the apocalyptic world where zombies roam, people fight to seize the wheel as the key to survival and dominance. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code, effortlessly dealing with a group of level 2 exotic beasts even when heavily injured. Just then, a level 4 enigmatic rock appears in the sky. But with his current teammates, he is simply unable to defeat it. Zhongming can only give up. In the following 3 days, he attracts numerous strange exotic beasts with the bloody scent of the Cloud Hoof's corpse, and proceeds to deal with them using the Staff of Nature. Among them, the frog croaker that looks like a snake is the most valuable. Its gland and strong liquor can resist various poisons when ingested. Before his rebirth, each gland could exchange for a bottle of 2 stars evolution potion. Sure enough, this journey to the wilderness was really worth it. And just at this moment, Zhongming suddenly felt a trace of unease. Immediately, he ordered everyone to pack up and return to the secluded hillside. At the same time, Liang Chuin and others in Ying City were packing up zombie bodies when they received Xiao Lei's signal flare the next second, indicating that something significant had happened. After Zhongming's group hid, a group of Fang Beast cavalry appeared nearby. They are the most organized and disciplined exotic beasts in the wilderness. However, among this group of Fang Beast cavalry, there are only 2 level 3 beasts. If he spent intermediate grade gems to exchange for 2 level 3 magic crystals, it would be clearly not worth it. Just as he was about to give up, a sudden shout caught him off guard. Just because the person who came was the one bringing reinforcements, even Zhongming found it unbelievable that the level 2 Di Huang pill could successfully complete the mission of traversing the dangerous territory. After all, it was a life-threatening journey. Yet, it managed to bring everyone back to the desolate land. At that moment, the howls were also heard by the Fang Beast cavalry, and they immediately turned around and charged towards the Di Huang pill. Zhongming didn't hesitate and set out immediately to support Little Guo, seeing them preparing to confront the group of Fang Beast cavalry head-on. She couldn't help but feel incredulous, and Zhongming noticed this too. Logically speaking, this was abnormal. Therefore, Zhongming was eager to go for support without delay. He plans to meet up with them first before exploring further. At this moment, Sheng Yuan activated the most powerful defensive barrier, while Teacher Piao assisted him from the rear by opening a shield. Suddenly Zhongming appeared. Everyone was overjoyed to see Zhongming appearing unharmed. But now a group of Fang Beast cavalry is heading this way. It's not the right time for nostalgic reminiscing. Zhongming cut to the chase and asked them why they dared to confront them head-on. Flat-Op Bro threw a card to Zhongming. When Zhongming saw this card, he showed a look of astonishment. This is a slave card that can seal exotic beasts. Once sealed, they become similar to war pets. All memories from its previous life will be erased, and it will completely obey the user. At this moment, the Fang Beast cavalry group is splitting into 2, attacking from the front and the rear. But our main party has a slave card. Combined with the powerful lineup of our main party, It's not impossible for them to deal with this group of Fombi's cavalry. In the near future, people will even rely on Wheel to draw lots to drink a bottle of toilet cleaner. In the apocalyptic world ruled by zombies, people fight to grab the wheel as a key to survival and power. The resurrected Zhongming is like a walking cheat code. He leveled up and easily killed the monsters with just a flick of his hand. It just happened. After Zhongming reunited with the team members, they immediately started dealing with the highly organized Fombi's cavalry group. Zhongming leaped up and then used the basic summoning scroll to summon a bronze statue to restrain one of the Fombi's cavalry leaders while it was distracted for a moment. He aimed at it and delivered a Thomas spin. Then he took out the enslaved card and slapped it directly on the head of the leader of the Fombi's cavalry, followed by a dazzling burst of white light. The other Fombi's cavalry were still puzzled, constantly searching for their missing leader, unaware that it had been captured by Zhongming into the card, becoming one of his war pets. Immediately he wielded a 90-meter short knife and unleashed a flame blade, where the flames spread and no one survived. At this moment, another Fombi's cavalry leader led a second team to attack. Zhongming ordered Shen Yuan to protect those who were not combat ready. He then led the team with combat capability to confront them, only to see him summon the upgraded rumbling engineer. He then threw in a level 2 magic crystal. A 90-meter level 2 short cannon appeared in front of it with a loud bang. All the Fombi's cavalry within the attack straight line of the cannon were wiped out. Seeing many subordinates being hunted down by the Fombi's cavalry, the leader stared fiercely at Zhongming, followed by a roar and charged towards Zhongming regardless of anything. Zhongming looked indifferent, then he threw out the mind control card he had just used. The leader of the Fombi's cavalry continued to look at the card with a puzzled expression. But the next moment, its kind came out of the card. Seeing the familiar face, the leader of the Fombi's cavalry showed an expression of great surprise. But the next moment, it was full of suspicion, and its companions were also dumbfounded. This was because the leader of the Fombi's cavalry actually turned its gun on them, just as the Fombi's cavalry were at a loss for what to do. Flat Up Bro and a few others happened to come out for the harvest. Little Gua, who was watching from the formation, showed a surprised expression. And her brother was even more grateful that he did not make the wrong choice. After a fierce battle, a group of highly organized Fombi's cavalry were wiped out. With the biggest threat eliminated, Zhongming ordered them to take the eggs from the cloud hoof nest, which would hatch into their mounts. After giving all the instructions, Xiao Lei reported the intelligence he had collected over the past few days to Zhongming.